If you're not familiar with Sanditon, Sanditon is an unfinished Jane Austen novel that also happens to be an unfinished web series that will probably be a finished web series at some point in time. And so, anyway, the creators of the show have been doing a lot to make it very interactive, and that includes having, like on a separate site, a place for the audience members to role play being the residents of the town, and make videos and stuff as characters living within within the story. And so I've made like two videos and I want to share them on my channel. Also, what they do with the web show is they have episodes where they take clips from everybody's submitted videos of the town and to make up some of the episodes. And one of the episodes I got a clip from one of my videos in, which made me pretty excited. Um, so yeah. Um, so partly in these I'm role playing, but actually for the most part I'm not really being a character so much as just being myself, pretending I live in Sanditon. So I figured a lot of it was applicable just to put on my own channel anyway. And yeah. Hello, Sanditon. By way of introduction, my name is Eleanor Whitley, Sanditon native, dishwasher by trade, and self-styled philosopher. I like to make things. I like books. These are some of the books that I'm reading just now. These are some of my favorite books. Well, I've lived in Sanditon my whole life, but it's kind of neat to, I don't know, get to know Sanditon, our community, in a way that I hadn't before. All because we're now coming together online to tell our story to the world. Also kind of interesting to see us, I don't know, figure out who we are, what kind of town we want to be, and the old Sanditon versus new Sanditon. And I think the conflict, if there really is one, is not between the past and the future. It's just between different people and their preferences or philosophies or what they want us to be as a community. But our decisions don't really affect whether we're in the past or the future. We're in the present, and we're always going to be in the present. Because we're not actually time travelers, although that would be kind of cool. Society is not on like a fixed line of progress, or it is not necessarily on a fixed line of decline. It's all just going to depend on what choices we make now will decide what the future is going to be. And I'm kind of excited to see what happens. Kind of the other neat thing that I love about this whole experiment, this whole happening, is that it kind of allows us to, I don't know, to bring out our Sanditon patriotism. I mean, to an extent, sometimes people think that having, patriotism or something in such a small town seems kind of absurd. But it isn't really when you think about it. In one of my favorite books, Napoleon of Notting Hill by G.K. Chesterton, there's, well, kind of hard to explain. Well, there's this king who's basically in England. He's basically elected like jury duty, just picked at random, and and he's has an interesting sense of humor. He decides sort of as a grand joke to have everyone, all these different sections of like London or whatever, be have their own heraldry and special costumes they have to wear. He sets up basically as a joke to make all these serious people have to dress silly. But there's one person, the person who gets to be in charge of Notting Hill, who takes it completely seriously, and he has this extreme, passionate patriotism for Notting Hill, which I don't really know much about Notting Hill, but I guess I get the impression, as much as Sanditon, as much as anything else, that to take it really seriously somehow came across as silly. But there's something really cool that he says, that Adam Wayne, that character, says. Notting Hill, said the provost simply, is a rise of high ground of the common earth, on which men have built houses to live in, which they are born, fall in love, pray, marry, and die. Why should I think it absurd? And a little later he says again, "Only feeling, sire. I was born, like other men, in a spot of earth which I loved, because I had played boys' games there, and fallen in love, and talked with my friends through nights that were nights of the gods. And I feel the riddle. These little gardens where we told our loves, these streets where we brought out our dead, why should they be commonplace? Why should they be absurd? Why should it be grotesque to say that a pillar box is poetic, when for a year I could not see a red pillar box against the yellow evening in a certain street, without being racked with something of which God keeps the secret, but which is stronger than sorrow or joy? Why should any one be able to raise a laugh by saying, 'The cause of Notting Hill'? Notting Hill, where thousands of immortal spirits blaze with alternate hope and fear." So I do recommend Napoleon of Notting Hill if you haven't read it. It's on Gutenberg, it's on LibriVox. So let's be enthusiastic about Sanditon. Also, since we have this online community thing now inside our community, I think we need to form a Sanditon secret society and write things in invisible ink and stuff, and I can be the poet laureate. My finger and I have matching hats. Domino and recording. So, a lot has been happening in Sanditon lately, but at the same time, I'm not really fond of this oft-repeated sentiment that nothing ever happened here before Domino came. I mean, plenty of stuff happens in Sanditon, important, significant stuff. I was born here, and I think that's pretty significant. So anyway, this is just a poem that I would like to share with you lovely residents of Sanditon. Sandy town, shore town, is my town and your town. New town or old town, a health or a gold town, dark wave, a shark grave remains in our hearts. Still, whatever the whole, you are marvelous parts. Also, I would tell you that anyone interested in applying for a possible secret society would to apply, they just need to leave a cleverly encoded message in the comments to that effect. Oh, I mean, I would tell you this, but I can't because it's a secret. End recording, Domino. What, word order matters that much? Picky. Domino, end recording.